Hey, g'day everyone, it's Chris here from 790 Adventure R. Just thought I'd do a really quick review and just my thoughts on the Leatt and Crossfire boots which I've been using for adventure riding. So I've gone for the 5.5 Leatts as my current boot after running 3 pairs of Crossfires. I had the original Crossfire 1's, I had a pair of Crossfire 2's that lasted 3 or so years, and then this pair which I only got 18 months. I got 2 trips out of 2 big trips plus some other little trips around. So just thought I'd do a really quick comparison of the two, because these two both are fairly well known as having good protection, both sideways and for your flexion and extension and hyperextension. The Sidi Crossfires through the pivot system that they've got in the middle, and the Leatts through the adjustable 2 little red inserts that you put in, plus the extension and hyperextension hinge system in the back. Leatt are pretty well known for their safety gear, so I thought I'd give them a try. They're both quite similar in look, but the Crossfires are a little bit heavier, and I think part of that is due to having 2 layers in lots of areas and just being a little bit heavier construction. The Leatts are also a slightly shorter boot, so when you see them on the bike propped up here, they're only just to the bottom of this plastic section, whereas the Crossfires are about an inch further up. The Crossfires do feel a little less planted actually than the Leatts on my particular bike, just because of where the top of the boot sits up against my $10 skateboard wheel stabilizing pegs. They both do lock in well, but the Leatts actually have about a half-inch longer heel section, so your boot is back just a little bit further than the Sidis. There's not a lot in it, but it is slightly different. So you can see here with both the boots lined up, the Sidi is just slightly, or maybe even only 10 millimeters, 8 millimeters bigger heel, and your foot is quite central on the pegs when you're on them, whereas I think you can get the Sidis a little bit further forward, so you're a little more on your heels. But the Sidis are also a little bit longer in the actual sole, because this is a stitched on motocross one. The previous pair of Sidis that I had was actually the SRS ones with the bolt on or screw on heels. So I went for this motocross one this time to try and stop the cracking, which is why I've changed now to the Leatts. So this is actually my 3rd pair. Like I mentioned, when I got rid of the first pair, I kept one of these sides just so that I had these adjusters, because they do fit the newer models, and this is actually breaking. I mean, this is coming apart, the plastic on these. So that's a pretty old pair of boots, but this pair I only had for 18 months, and basically they started coming apart. So you've got your inner liner, which obviously then they've got the plastic and the protector over the top, and I thought having the stitched on motocross sole, this wouldn't flex as much, so this wouldn't break, but I got even less time out of these than my previous pair. They're still selling these new, which is the reason that I am comparing them. You can get them, and I've checked the tags, and they're the same as these, so you'd just be buying something that was the same design and the same plastic as these. They also have brought out another model of those, but they're quite a lot more expensive than the Leatts, and I just found that the Leatts were a much easier boot to live with. They've got a one-way Velcro at the top, which actually means that when you put them on, you don't have to tighten the Velcro at the top. It actually moves in and adjusts. It's called slide lock, and you can also pull it in, and then the Velcro's undone. So the Velcro goes on, and then as the buckle tightens, it pulls it into place and then locks it, and then it will stay there until you bring it in. You also only have to just make sure that that little one flap is out of the way, put the boot on, start at the bottom, buckle them up, and away you go. The buckles are also very, very much either on or off, and with the Leatt, you know that the boot is on, whereas with the Sidi there's actually a lot of friction down here in the buckle. But the problem is you can do that where this part of the buckle is not actually down flush yet. You've actually got to push it down, and then it's locked in place. So these being flexible and having quite a lot of stiction, you don't always know it's in place. You've also got to do the Velcro at the top, the Velcro in the middle, and get this little plastic flap here and this little plastic flap here in the right places, because they can kind of get stuck. So it's definitely easier to put on the Leatts, and that's why that's my go-to now. So those boots have done about 10,000 kilometers off-road. I do wear pants that come down over the top, so you know, they're pretty well covered at the top, but down the bottom here I think the longevity is going to be there, because this Alcantara area here, separate from here, and everything actually allows it to have a little bit more flex. So you're flexing the material of the boot, not the hard plastic. I mean, hard plastic, if you flex it 100 times or 1,000 times, you know, I guess you're going to end up with issues. But, you know, I was pretty disappointed in that. That was an 18-month-old pair, which, as I say, I went for the motocross version to avoid that. So as far as feel goes, flexibility and everything, I don't like walking in motocross boots. I don't know who does. And, you know, I would say that these are not very flexible or very comfortable, but that's not why I bought them. I bought them because when you do an adventure ride and you're, you know, 3,000 or 4,000 kilometers from home, and, you know, many kilometers from medical help, I want to wear something that's got some good protection. They work very well with my pod knee braces. They go in the front, and they're quite comfy, and they lock in quite well. But they were also very comfortable in the Crossfires. So that's my combo and my 2 cents on it. I'm not sponsored by Jim Beam, but I have been known to enjoy a drop now and again. So anyway, if you're looking for something to upgrade from the Sidis, I'm not the first person to talk about the Crossfires having a problem with the plastic cracking on them. I mean, I did have 3 sets, I did like them, but I'm glad now that there's at least an alternative, which is the 5.5 Flexlock. So yeah, cheers, thanks for listening, and if you haven't already, subscribe or drop us a note or a like, or all those things that people say you're supposed to say. Cheers. Alright, packing up the tent. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to see some more of these videos. There's a couple more coming up and a few more bits and pieces, so yeah, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Cheers.